We are heading to Dublin for Irish Open. Nice one. Yeah. We make day 2 of Irish Open with a very friendly table. Hey, we got David here. So Irish Open, very big field. I would say I really enjoy Irish Open. I just been here like second time for me.
Okay.
This year. I enjoy a lot. I basically enjoy how people get drinking and playing and chill in the same time. Mm-hmm. The field is very soft. Like I can feel the vibe of American people. Like when we play in Vegas, people tend to be more entertained than skill part of poker.
Yeah.
I think we don't really get this sort of experience in UK, do we?
No, it's very serious in the UK. Like Ireland, lets its guard down quite a lot. Like you get, in the Irish Open, I feel like when you play on even day 1 of the main event, it's like a 1K main event. Every single one of my tables was very, very fun. Yeah. Everyone's here, even the recreationals have satellited in, everyone's here to have a bit of fun. So, it's just a different atmosphere.
Yeah, the question I want to ask and I want to get the tips from is, because I know you've been won Irish Open last year, the main event last year. I want to know what is the advice or what would you suggest, let's say, to win in such a big field?
Wow.
Big question. Big question.
I mean, this is I feel like I'm going to say something that everyone already knows here, but you have to run good. Now, I was very lucky last year that I bagged the chip leads on day 1A.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
So what that allowed me to do was, when I ran bad, and I did run bad for a little bit of time on day 2 and day 3, it gave me a little bit of a cushion where I could absorb the hits that I was taking.
Yeah.
But when I got to the deep end, and luckily for me, Benny Glaser busted in 10th place, I felt very strongly that I was the best player left. And there was a lot of ICM involved, which you have to study in these situations. So I felt very confident that I was going to do well on the final table. I was the best placed player to make good decisions on the final table. And I think it's often ignored by professional players in big fields, where you think that there's 3,000 players to get through. Maybe, like 2% of the tournament is spent making ICM decisions, but that's where all the money is.
I think I think like for me, I feel like 3 I would say, which I've been, let's say, I'm doing better this year than last year. One is you need to stay calm, like you need to stay that not tilting, chill. One is very important. Second is you need to be very, very patient. Because it's such a great structure, so you have plenty of time to wait for good hand, to play good. And then the third I feel is very important is no fear. Because I saw like they said my table or like a lot of players, they were like, oh, this is last 10 minutes, I want to skip the blind. I think that is a very wrong mindset. I would say like, because when I was in the table with the last couple of hands, I would be like, oh, I want to play more. I want to grind more, because day one means nothing basically. You need to make the money. You need to make the right decision in every single spot to be able to like build up your stack. Because before I was like I was quite new to poker. I think like the best lesson I've learned for this couple of years was you have to put yourself in the right mindset. That is the key. Like I don't think everyone really in the sort of like pool skill part. But I think the main difference is the mental part. I would say.
I agree with you.
I think like in this such like big field, that is even more important.
So I think that I once did a session with Jared Tendler, who's a very well-known mental game coach, and it changed my perception of poker overnight. And I've read all his books back to front multiple times, and I really feel like that did help me last year, because I was able to stay composed when a lot of people were maybe afraid of the pay jumps. They were changing their game. They were doing like what they wouldn't do naturally. And I'm able to separate myself from what actually happens at the table versus what decisions I'm going to make. What I do is I try and make decisions, and once I've made the decision, it doesn't matter what happens anymore. I am, if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. But it's very, very important to separate yourself from what you can't control.
Well, I would say like the third point of what I've been learning is no fear. That is very, very important.
So no fear is interesting, because I think that can be construed in two ways. It can be
winning,
it can be interpreted. Exactly. It can be interpreted as, if you have no fear, then you might make mistakes by playing too aggressively. But what I think you mean is no fear is you don't care what happens once you've made your best decision.
Result is not important.
You study off the table. You make the best decision in the moment that you can make, and once that happens, you don't care what the result is. That's the element of no fear. It's you have to be willing to like make decisions and stick by them and be confident in them, regardless of what happens afterwards. Even if you get sucked out on, your opponent has 2 outs and they hit them, so what? Doesn't matter.
Definitely. I think like the last I would say, I would really recommend to a lot of players, no matter you are pro or you are recreational or you are just like very new to poker. I would say like I see a lot of players they tend to like being too busy in the table, like they play on their phone, they not focus on like the table, like because it's such a long clock in it, 45 minutes, and tomorrow is 16-minute clock. So I think like the patient I mean is not just patient to find good hand, but be patient of like every single player in the table, like what their stock size, what sort of player they are, like what size they betting when they're in the hand, and then when like what sort of hand they show, the showdown hand. I think that's so important because you can collect a lot of like informations against each player. So when you had a hand against them, you know exactly what hand they've got. I think that that is the key, like why some people say like, oh wow, you can read my hand really well, and some people was like, how you do that? I think just the small stuff building up all this like skills.
It's everything that you do off the table that really matters when you're on it. And I think that in terms of the patience element, on day 3 last year we were told right at the start of day 3 that we would play a 15-hour day, and the reaction of most of the players at the table was, come on, like we can't do that, we can't play a 15-hour day, I don't want to do that, I'm unhappy with it. My reaction was acceptance, and I knew that in the last 3 or 4 hours of the day I would be in a better mindset than the rest of the players. They were all desperate to make day 4, whereas I just accepted that I had to play these long hours, and I tried to make the best decisions that I could. And I don't know if other players made mistakes because of the long hours, but I suspect that they probably did. And there's an acceptance that you know what you're getting into when you play poker. You have to be very calm, you have to be very composed, you have to implement what you've studied when you're off the table, and you have to be capable of doing that. And if you can do all of that, you kind of just have to wait on the results to come. Now, luckily enough, I won the Irish Open last year.
You deserve it. You definitely deserve it.
This year I've done 7 entries on day 1 and I haven't made day 2.
This year you're gonna give the chance to the
I'm gonna give the chance to you, Bixie, this year.
Thank you.
It's just proof that you can do everything right and it might not go well. Last year it went well, this year it hasn't went well. I don't really care about that. It's I'm just doing what I think is right regardless of any results. And I had a good result last year. I didn't have a good result this year. I'm fine with that. I'm still the Irish Open champion as we speak right now. No one else has won the tournament yet. I still have a chance of
definitely your title's gonna be there. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pixie.
For your thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Hi guys, so we are back from Irish Open and I had such a great time again this year. This is my second year. I played 3 events, ladies event, main event and the mini event. I cashed 2. So I cashed main event, which with a good deep run. I'm very happy with that. And I cashed a mini man. It's just such a great experience to playing Irish Open, as always, as everyone always talked about. They have such a great venue, people just drinking, chilling, play more entertainment sort of poker. It's just so different with like the normal UK poker we play. Hope you guys enjoy the video. I know I've been, haven't updated video for such a long time. So if you like my video, please subscribe me and it will definitely encourage me to post more. See you next.